Hi everyone. What do you know about Fort Myers and Fort Myers Beach, Florida? Today's lesson with Learn English Florida will talk about the Fort Myers area. I'm Vanessa, your teacher with Learn English Florida. Fort Myers is located in southwest Florida, between the Sarasota area and Naples. It's probably 2.5 hours away from the Tampa area and maybe 2.5 hours away from the Miami area. Fort Myers is on the coast of the state, which means it's near the water, and that's why Fort Myers Beach is also famous. The Fort Myers area has about 835,000 people. The area has grown a lot since the COVID pandemic. The Fort Myers area includes towns like Fort Myers Beach, Cape Coral, Bonita Springs, and other towns. Some of the areas that we'll talk about today. So, a few facts about Fort Myers. It's located on the Caloosahatchee River. Caloosahatchee River. So there are some nice views of the river from the downtown area. There are also lots of different types of jobs there, which is another reason the area is popular. People want to live somewhere where there's sunshine year-round, and they can play sports like golf or tennis or pickleball. One popular area of Fort Myers is Fort Myers Beach. It's located right on the Gulf, and people will go there to go swimming or take in the sun or do water sports. But maybe you've heard of Fort Myers Beach for the hurricane damage it received. In 2022, Hurricane Ian caused storm surge or water that was about up to 15 feet high or 4.5 meters. It was on TV and in videos around the world. You could see a famous clock that's on Fort Myers Beach, and by the end of the storm, it was completely covered with water. Then, unfortunately, Fort Myers Beach received more damage during our hurricanes in 2024, Helene and Milton. They brought 5 feet of sand to the nearby Fort Myers Beach area. The good news is that Fort Myers Beach is recovering and is open for business. Excuse me. We were there recently and had a nice visit. Sanibel and Captiva Island are two other areas in the Fort Myers area that are popular. They're islands, so they also have received some recent hurricane damage. But they're beautiful to see, and they're known for shelling, so if you like to collect shells. The Edison and Ford Winter Estates in Fort Myers is another popular destination there in the Fort Myers area. You can see the winter homes of inventor Thomas Edison and car maker Henry Ford. Their homes are right on the water. Of course, they're not living anymore, but the homes are still there. They're right on the river. There are lots of native plants that are planted on their property, and you can see what they kept in their homes in the early 1900s until around the 1930s. There's so much history to see there and lots of beautiful plants. You can learn a lot about Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, and even learn about car making a little bit when you visit the Edison and Ford estates. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the Fort Myers area has spring baseball training, or we call it spring training, for 2 baseball teams, the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. So if you like baseball, you can come to Fort Myers and watch a game that'll cost less than watching it during the regular season. Spring training for baseball is very popular in Florida. So, Fort Myers is a very nice area to visit in Southwest Florida for things like the Edison and Ford Estates, going to the beach, watching baseball games, or doing outdoor sports, or you can use it as an area to stay at and then take day trips to other nearby towns like Sarasota and Naples. Please watch our second video this week where we'll have pictures related to our lesson about Fort Myers. Thanks, everyone.